My name is Reshu Kumar Mandal and I am hereby presenting a review on laser-based additive manufacturing. This is under my BTP1 presentation and this project is done under the supervision of Professor Ashish Kumar Nath. In recent times, additive manufacturing has emerged as an important manufacturing technique. It is environmental friendly. It has many benefits such as energy saving, less material consumption, and efficient method of production. For transferring energy efficiently at a designated spot to melt, soften, or cure, the lasers are preferred, and this repeated layer by layer construction leads to the construction of part. Laser stands for light amplification by simultaneous emission of radiation. Laser consists of gain medium, pumping energy source, and an optical resonator. Now, lasers are classified as solid-state laser, gas, excimer, dye, fiber, or semiconductor ones. And some of the important lasers used in industries are CO2, Nd:YAG, YB fiber, and excimers. CO2 lasers. Gain medium is CO2. Infrared output wavelength, high efficiency 5 to 20% and high output power. Advantages are low cost, high reliability, system compactness, and disadvantages are that the beam cannot be delivered using the optical fiber because of the wavelength range that CO2 lasers operates in. Nd:YAG solid state laser. Nd:YAG denotes neodymium doped yttrium aluminum garnet laser. These are another most common used. Near infrared wavelength. Light beam can be delivered using optical fibers contrary to CO2 lasers, and this can be operated in both continuous and pulsed mode. Power reaches up to 20 kilowatts in peak power, and Nd:YAGs are primarily used in SLA, stereolithography. YB doped fiber lasers. The gain medium is rare earth doped optical fiber. They generate high power, produce near infrared wavelengths. They have efficiency of 25%. They have excellent beam quality, robustness against environmental disturbances, and system compactness. Now, the limitation is that due to fiber bending, vibration, or fiber temperature variation, there are unexpected polarization changes, which deteriorates the beam quality. Excimer gas lasers. Excimer stands for excited dimer, which is its gain medium. It is a mixture of gases like noble gas, halogen, and buffer gas. Excimer produces nanosecond pulses in UV range, and they have up to few hundred of watts of power. Now, their operation is limited to pulse mode only, and they have relatively poor beam quality, tricky maintenance, and extremely high running cost, which are its disadvantages. Critical laser parameters. We will see the laser parameters in 4 different domains: wavelength domain, power domain, time domain, and spatial domain. Operating wavelength. This is an important process parameter. Higher the wavelength, higher absorbability, and higher the absorbability, higher is the mechanical through output. For metal powders, shorter wavelength are better. Now, Nd:YAG and YB fiber lasers are used in metal printing, and CO2 lasers are preferred for polymer printing. The operating wavelength is also related to focusability and manufacturing resolution. Minimum spot size is also related to wavelength. Average power, pulse energy, and intensity. Laser intensity is defined as laser power per unit area. Now, higher than intensity, better is the build rate. But the intensity should be chosen carefully because more higher intensities can deteriorate the mechanical properties of the parts built. Focused intensity on the laser beam is proportional to the average power and focused spot size. Now intensity is inversely proportional to the square root of wavelength. Pulse duration. Lasers are operated in continuous mode as well as pulse mode. In continuous mode, power is independent of time, but in pulse mode, uh, very high power is emitted for a very short duration of time and it is repeated. Now, pulse mode can be obtained by Q switching, mode locking, or pulse pumping. And in pulse mode, the benefit is that temperature of the material rises very quickly and very less energy is dissipated to the surrounding. Beam quality and focused spot size. Beam perimeter product or BPP is the product of beam radius and the half angle of the beam divergence. And M square factor or beam quality factor is another quantity used to measure beam quality. Now when M square is equals to 1, the beam is perfect Gaussian one. So CO2 lasers have relatively low BPP, YB fiber lasers provide almost perfect Gaussian shaped beam, and excimer lasers they have relatively poor beam quality. Now we shall look at some of the laser based additive manufacturing technologies, which are SLA, which is under photopolymerization process. SLS is a powder bed fusion process. DMLD is direct matter deposition process. And they all use different kinds of lasers and different processes. Stereolithography or SL is one of the earliest additive manufacturing methods. In this, the laser scans the layers of the parts to be built and the process is repeated until the part is finished. This is a bottoms-up SLA in which the built part appears to be coming out of the tank. Light source used in most SLA printers are solid-state UV lasers, epoxy-based resins are used, and layer thickness decreases with increasing scanning speed. There is another method known as microstereolithography, which is used to produce small complex objects with microns of resolution. Selective laser sintering or SLS. In this process, laser scans the layers of the powder, solidifying the layers by layer until the part is finished. High power laser used for the process, and laser power provides the thermal energy required for powder sintering. CO2 and YB fiber lasers are commonly used in SLS. Galvanometers are used to navigate the laser beam to a specific point. And laser power and scanning speed are the primary parameters affecting the sintering process. Direct metal laser deposition or DMLD. In this, the laser beam is used to form the pool of melted metal on the surface of metallic substrate. Now gas and materials are fed into the path of the heat. It then combines with the base material. Argon is used as shielding gas. Applications include repairing of components, building of new parts, and bridging the gaps and cracks. DMLD has many advantages like higher build rates, flexibility, improved microstructure, faster processing speeds. But limitations are the higher cost of operation and they are not considered robust and repeatable enough. Additive manufacturing has many drawbacks. Like it is limited due to availability of the materials which can be processed in additive manufacturing. Level of mechanical properties are relatively low considered to other manufacturing techniques. And the mechanical properties are anisotropic across the material because of layer by layer construction. In SLA, mechanical properties are relatively low considered to SLS or other techniques. Layer thickness, orientation, and hatch spacing influence the properties much more. SLS is still better than SLA considering mechanical isotropy, and intrinsic weakness are also in the SLS manufactured products. But porosity is the major concern as fatigue cracks initiate from the pores close to surface. DMLD is used to repair many parts. It is an important technique, but the surface roughness or surface smoothness is a major aspect of DMLD. Surface remelting is required to smoothen the surface. CO2 or NdArcs are the mostly used industrial lasers. YB fiber lasers are replacing NdArc lasers nowadays. Lasers in additive manufacturing should be selected according to the target materials, and the future of additive manufacturing is will be mostly affected by the lasers and this related technologies. Additive manufacturing continue to replace traditional subtractive manufacturing. Thank you.